Hi everyone, this is Louise from 805 Soap, and today I'm going to be making a couple of soap vlogs. This is for a special order, so I thought I'd make a video. I haven't been on YouTube for a while, and just wanted to say hi to everybody, and everything's going good. If you are looking or interested in making melt and pour soap or working with it, there's a forum listed above in the descriptions, and all you have to do is on Facebook, and it's one of my forums with Ricky Hamblin and myself started the forum, and we have a lot of good information on there. If you want to join, it's free to join, and come and join us. Anyways, today I'm going to be making Japanese cherry blossom, and the other one's going to be honey vanilla love dust. So what I have here is some white soap, a base, and it's perfect for pouring right now. I'm going to get my shreds right here. They're all shredded up, and I used a shredder, a salad shooter, to do this. So what I do is I spray them all with rubbing alcohol. This is all rubbing alcohol. If this is better for you, this is the bottle. This is what it is. It's from Rite Aid, 70% rubbing alcohol. And I just put a trigger sprayer on top. It's a lot easier to handle that way. And now these are not so gummy, and they're going to be fine. So what you want to do is you want to take your container, dollar store, Dollar Tree. These are drawer containers, and you want to load this up with your sprayed rubbing alcohol on here. Oh, I forgot to do something. For an extra special thing on this, I'm going to add some glitter. So this is going to make my embeds. This is all body safe glitter, and it's going to make my embeds a little bit shiny in there. So that's a little trick. If you want some sparkle on the inside, just put a little bit of rubbing alcohol and some glitter, and that usually does it. So we're just going to load this up because we want nice embeds on here inside. You want to make sure that your base is cold so that it doesn't melt the embeds on it. And another trick I do is that I'm lazy, and in my studio I don't have water. Okay, so I have to bring everything in my kitchen to wash, which means I want as little to wash as possible, and I'm lazy. So what I do is I take my bowl and I put it right on my scale, and I zero it out. So now it's 0. So now I just take the fragrance oil and just add it in there. Perfect. There's 2 pounds. I added 2 ounces. Okay. So I have my base. I have my fragrance oil in there, and if I touch this, I can touch this, and it's room temperature. So, and you can see how it's got a circle around the sides. It's not fully, it didn't get a thick layer on it, but if I let this sit, it'll have a thick layer. So that's why you want to constantly stir it. But you see that rim around it? That tells me that it's cooling down. So that's one of the little tricks that you can find out when your soap temperature. If you don't have a thermometer, I don't use a thermometer. I've been soaping for so long. I do it by touch. But if you need a thermometer, get one on Amazon.com. You can get them at the hardware store, Home Depot, Lowe's. They're all infrared thermometers, so they work just as well. Everybody's base is different, so that's going to be, another thing. I just literally sprayed this whole thing down again with rubbing alcohol, because what I want to do is I want to get the base in the crevices of the shreds without melting them, but I don't want air pockets in there either. So the rubbing alcohol is going to help me eliminate that. So we're just going to pour this on top, and my shreds shouldn't be melted, and they're not, because the base isn't hot enough to melt. So we're just going to fill this whole thing up to the top. And you could hear the air bubbles in here, or my dog chewing on his dog food, one of the two. Oh my gosh. And you're going to spray all the bubbles away on there. Okay? I made this really full. But as you can see down here, the color hasn't changed. And it's not melting. Okay? And that's what you want. You don't want to melt those embeds, because then you won't have a pretty base in there. So that's how you want to do it. Once this sets up a little bit and I can get a little bit firmer on there, I'm going to add some more of my embeds. If I was to do it now, it'll go right inside probably. See, because it's too liquidy. So what you want to do is you want to wait a couple of minutes and then let it set up. Once it's set up, then you'll be able to lay them right on top. Okay? See, they're starting to. Once they don't start to fall in, you know that that basis is hard enough. If it's too hard, then they're just going to sit on top, and you're going to have to glue it down with more soap. So rubbing alcohol is really the key to melt and pour. And I use a lot of it, and it works because it separates all of the little soap shreds to make it stick, and it's like glue. So now you see them, they're more laying on top of it than going inside. And I get impatient. So I'm going to hit it with a little bit more glitter. And this is kind of like messy, so that way I don't have to put so much glitter on the top. And that's what you do. I know during the summer it's hard for me. I am an angler, a woman angler, which means I fish. And during the summer, I love to go fishing. So between my soaping, my full-time day job, and fishing, I get really busy. And I haven't been on YouTube. I've watched some other friends' videos, which are really cool. Okay, I'm about done with this. Okay, I'm just going to give it a little bit more of glitter, because this is a really girly girl that's buying this, and she likes all the glitter and glam on there. Okay, so that's basically what you do. And when I cut in this tomorrow, I'll show you how. I'll show you on the inside if you can see the glitter in there. But that's a couple of ways that you can put it inside with the embeds that make it really, really nice. Okay, so this is one, and we're going to do the other one. I got a salad shooter. My friend Ricky recommended it, and I did. And this is my salad shooter. Let me move this. It's a Presto salad shooter. I got the professional one, which has 4 of these. They're dirty. I haven't washed them. I've been using them all day. I've been soaping. So it comes with 4. There's 1 inside, and there's 4 other ones that come with it. Pretty neat object. It saves me a lot of time, and time is money to do the shreds. So what I do is I put my fragrance oil in my container, gotta move this over. I get all of my shreds, I get everything prepared ahead of time, and then it's really easy to go. Let me get my soap out of my microwave. I gotta heat that up for a couple more seconds. It got a little solid on the top because I was making this one. But yeah, so I'd love to have you guys come and join me on Facebook if you can, if you're interested in soaping or you want to learn more about the craft. There's a lot of really cool women in there that know a lot about soaping and can answer a lot of questions that you have, like where to buy products and fragrances and vendors and, you know, everything you need to learn how to soap. It's been a fun experience with me. My business has grown, and let me get them. I'm at the microwave. I didn't leave. I have to do another 30-40 seconds. It's been a fun experience. So these are, again, a different shape that's from the salad shooter. These are just one of the shapes that I've gotten, and I'm going to put it on the inside. This particular fragrance oil turns the soap brown. This particular person that is purchasing this knows this. So if I put a yellow or a light colored soap on the inside, and this doesn't have fragrance oil in it, this is going to it's going to be like a brown soap with yellow in it, and it's going to look really pretty. And then I got some soap curls on the top for the top. So I try to match the color with the fragrance, be as close as possible. I mean, you don't want to make an orange fragrance soap with blue colored soap. It just doesn't, people relate so much to color to the fragrances. So when you have a fragrance that's like honeybee, you want it to be yellows and browns. If you have a coconut pear or something like that, you want it to be greens and browns and yellows. So, I mean, it's really kind of easy to think of it that way. If you can just like take your strawberry fragrance, and it should be like a light pink color, you know. So people have a tendency of matching color with fragrance, and they, you know, when they smell it and they look at it, that's what they want. So anyway, so here we're going to do this. These are like 2 pounds. I want to say, yeah, they're about 2 pounds, about 32 ounces in each container. These are at the Dollar Tree. They also sell the smaller one, which I have right here, which are dirty. These are the smaller ones. And then they also sell a larger one. If I have it. Yeah, I do. Hey. Oh, geez. This is the larger one. And these hold about 48 ounces. So these are the larger, they're all, the smaller ones are I believe 2 for $1. These were 2 for $1. So you know what? It's great. They pop right out of here. All you do is when you get them popped out, you break them open like this. You break the air, and you break them like this, and that's it. You don't need to put any kind of lining in there or anything. They'll pop right out. Anything made with a hard plastic is going to work for you. Something that's real brittle won't. So you want to make sure that the plastic gives a little bit. So if it does, you're going to be fine with it. The other thing too is watch your flash points. What's a flash point? A flash point is when the fragrance oil says the flash point is 134. So that means that my base here, my base that I just heat up, should be less than 134 degrees or this will burn off. Okay, it's also, it's, if you get it too hot, the fragrance will not be there anymore. You won't be able to smell it. You don't want anything, you know, that's, usually want to use fragrance oils that have a higher flash point. I try to use them with higher flash points only because soaps sometimes take 135 to 140 to melt up, and if you're over 5 degrees or so, you want to make sure that that fragrance oil is in the soap. Don't just sit here and leave the soap unattended. Don't just say, okay, I'm going to walk away and I'll be back in 5 minutes. If you do that, you're going to get a skin on the top, and the skin is going to have to either be remelted or the whole thing's going to have to be remelted. I use the microwave. You can use crock pots. You can use a double boiler. I do not suggest putting soap directly into a pot and putting it on the stove. That's not going to work. So you've got 3 options or a couple more, but you've got a crock pot, you've got a microwave, and you've got a double boiler. So either one of those, or then you can start to get into the commercial melters, you know, and those are like your French fry holder and those kind of things. So now I got it too hot. So what we're going to do, I'm going to put this on the side and stir, is I'm going to put some of these in here, and I'm going to spray everything with alcohol. You can never have too much alcohol with melt and pour, because you want everything. And I think I'm going to lay these, some of them this way and then some of them the other way. But I've been super busy, like I said, heading out fishing next week with some friends of mine down south, and just kind of enjoying the balance of summer here in California. It's been really nice. I changed my mind. I want them turned around the other way. Because if we slice them this way, then that's going to be the slices going with it. And I'd rather have it the slices going the opposite way. So I'm just going to turn it around. My bad. Sometimes you're going to change your mind when you soap, and that's okay. Just make sure you have everything ready and prepared. Have your fragrance oil out. I can't tell you how many times in the beginning when I soaped that I forgot my fragrance, because you know what? It didn't have it out in front of me. And you know, you just sometimes get so overwhelmed with doing everything. You just want to be prepared, and being prepared is good. It's kind of like cooking. It's like kind of like getting a recipe. Everything out for your recipe. Plan what you're going to do. You can always change a design. I mean, you don't have to go by the book. If you feel like doing something else, then do it. And then just go with it. But I just want to make sure that all these pieces are sprayed with alcohol, because they're going to be in here and the soap will go around them, and use a lot of alcohol. A lot. I mean, as much as I soap, I go through it by the gallons. But see, I know the soap, once I get it on here, it's going to go right around it, and it's going to be, there's not going to have a lot of air pockets. And that's what I want. My dogs are hungry. They were outside all day today. They had water out there, but I try not to feed them too much. They're little puppies, not puppies, they're little dogs. And they gain weight in the winter time. So, okay, so I got a whole bucket here of embeds. And And once I slice it this way, that'll be fine. And if you see, I just had a little bit of a skim on here, but not much. So that's good. It formed a little bit of a skim, and I can see a circle around my bowl, which is telling me, and if I touch this, it's not too hot. So the other thing I have to do is put it on my scale, zero it out, pour my fragrance oil in. Like I said, I'm lazy. I don't want to wash stuff. I try to do everything that's simple. The simpler the better with me, because I don't want to wash everything. I was using paper cups, and I was using like glass containers, and then I'd break them, and it was a nightmare. So I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to stick the bowl of liquid on there and do it that way. It's okay. We're going to pour this over the embeds, and it'll pour nice and evenly because of all that rubbing alcohol. The alcohol just makes it glide right to the bottom, and if you can see how I'm pouring, it's not getting stuck. It's just being really liquid, and that's what you want. You want it to be liquid and to go through all those crevices so that when you cut it, you're going to have a really cool design, and there's not going to be any air pockets. So don't be afraid to use rubbing alcohol. Rubbing alcohol is like, it goes away, you don't smell it. I use 70%. Other people want to use 50 or 90. You know, I've been using 70 for almost 5 years now, and I haven't had a problem at all. So it's just, I think, strictly up to you. But the 70 to me doesn't leave anything. So now we're going to put the shreds on. And again, I'm going to do the same thing with the shreds. I'm going to get them nice and loaded up with rubbing alcohol so they don't stick to my hands. That's how I know that I have enough alcohol on there. And then I'm going to put a little bit of glitter. And if you don't like the glitter, you don't have to put it on, you know. You can do whatever you want. So I'm just going to put these shreds right on top, and it's going to go down, but they're not going to melt. They'll just be on the top. So I'll come back tomorrow and unmold these, and I'll show you how easy it is to unmold. And we're going to cut them up. And if you want to see me package them, I can even package them. Packaging is really easy. I use Stretch Tite. But like I said, if you're interested in soaping, come join me on Facebook. I'm on Facebook a lot more than I am on YouTube. There's two forums. I have a forum called Shout Out to Melt and Pour, and a Shout Out to Cold Process and Hot Process Soaps. There's about, I think, 11 of us admins, which means administrators, that are on there all the time from East Coast to West Coast. The boards are on 24 hours a day. We have files, we have pictures, we have contests. If you post your soap, we'll post it on the forum. We have a lot of things going on there, and it's fun. If you're new at soaping, and you know, even if you're a beginner, it doesn't matter. You know, that's what we're there for, to help you guys if you're interested in doing it, and if you have a passion for the craft. And you don't know if you have a passion for the craft unless you try. So it's one way to get introduced into the craft and meet a lot of cool people from all over the world. I have friends in every place. I didn't ever imagine I would ever have so many people that I would know from far away. And the Virgin Islands, Europe, the UK, Wales, Scotland, England, Australia. There's so many people that I know in different countries. And we even have help for Australia and Canadian. We're getting suppliers to help people in those areas too. So if you're having a problem with soaping and you want to learn how to do it, come join me on the forum, and I'd love to see you. Tell me that you saw the video and you just wanted to stop by and say hi, and I will definitely acknowledge you. Anyways, we're done for the night. These are Japanese cherry blossom and honey vanilla dust. Those both are, if I can take my camera off, those are both the new soaps that I have. Oh,